Hello guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to customize or style Bootstrap framework. So we are going to use version 4 and currently this is alpha 5 and sooner or later I believe they will release the stable version that we can use for production. So the first thing that you need to do is install the Bootstrap, but before that we are going to get a text editor to edit the files. So I recommend that you guys download Atom because it's a very cool text editor, and this text editor is available for all machine, Windows, Mac and Linux. And then the next one, if you are if you want to use the Windows software, this is only for Windows, you can get this Notepad++. Alright, so I'm going to use Atom, by the way. So the first thing that I want you guys to do is go ahead to this website v4-alpha.getbootstrap.com and download Bootstrap. Alright, so there are several ways that we can download Bootstrap. The first one is by downloading the source file. So by downloading the source file, you will get the .zip format contain all of the codes. Or the second one, we can just specify the Bootstrap CTN that we can link to the code, or the third one is by using package managers. So in this tutorial I'm going to show you by using CTN, and for package managers I might make another video for it. So I'm just going to copy a clipboard. So I'm going to create a new directory. You can create this directory anywhere and just call it styling Bootstrap. Alright, so in this directory, that will be like empty, obviously. So I'm going to open my Atom text editor, right, and drag this this directory in the text editor. So now I'm going to create a new files, index.html, right, and inside here I'm going to create new HTML tag. So this is just basic default HTML tag. If you write HTML and you press the tab button, it will automatically generate this. So here I'm going to paste the code that I have just copied from the website, and we need additional settings. Okay, so head to the introduction in the sidebar there, and you need to copy these 3 lines here. So this thing is to make sure that our Bootstrap files, our website is responsive with all of the device. So open this back and paste it on top of here. Alright, just call it, the title would be styling Bootstrap. Alright, so we don't really need so the first one is the CSS and the second one is the GS files. We don't need the GS files, so we can just remove this. Alright, so once you have done this, there are 3 ways to style Bootstrap. So the first one, we style through, right? The first one, we style through overriding. So what we mean by override is that we are going to redeclare or rewrite the properties that of the elements, and we are going to style it on our own. The second one is defining separate class, right? So second one is we define the separate class for this, and the third one is using mixins, which requires sass. Right, so alright, sass or SCSS. Alright, so in this video I'm going to show you the first two, which is by overriding, and the second one is defining separate class. So these two we are going to use CSS. Alright, so the last one is going to use sass or SCSS. So I'm just going to comment this thing out, and here basically let's define a container. Alright, so container, sorry about that. I will define a container a class called container, and let's see if it works. So now I'm going to open new tab there and open here, put it back there, and as you can see here is this tag is inside the container. Alright, so now I'm going to just create a few buttons and we will style them. So this sidebar, I'm going to hide this sidebar. If you want to hide it, you can go to view and toggle panels, what is it called, toggle preview, so you can hide it like that. I'm going to make my screen, I'm going to separate my screen into two. Alright, so now inside here I'm just going to, for example, let's create a button in Bootstrap. So button, so button button, type button, name button. We can remove this if you want, but let's just style it here. So class on here, class is equal to btn primary. So when we run this, alright, obviously there's nothing there. Let's put it inside the container. Alright, and inside this button, let's write click me and refresh this. So as we can see here, this is the button. Let me just give an extra styling so that let me just remove this text and I run this again. As we can see, this is the default button that we have. Alright, so first we are going to learn overwriting. Alright, so let me just write this in a p tag, paragraph tag, and let's see. So the first thing, alright, so in this video I'm going to show you the first two, which is overriding and defining separate class, or CSS. So what I mean by overriding is that if I press right click and inspect element and then press this icon here and press it on the button, we can see that the button color is white, right? Let's try to change this. See the color change, and if we, and the background color is default to blue. So by overriding mean we are going to write our own style and override the default style. So after this style, the link text, create a style tag. Alright, so inside this style, I'm going to rewrite this. So I can just copy paste this, copy it and put it there. Alright, make it a little bit nicer. So the color, let's change the color to, but before that you guys can visit this flatuicolors.com to see all of the available to see, you know, flat colors. So I really like this website because it show a very nice color. So for example, I will copy this color, which is I don't really know what you call it, light red maybe. So I copy the color and change it there. So when and then the background color, let's change it to this dark color, change it there, and border color maybe this another one. So let me remove it. So as you guys can see, I have changed the properties and values of this of the button primary. So now let me save it, save, and I will use shortcut so it'll be easier. And you guys can use maybe Control S in Windows and Command S on Mac machine. So here, when I hit back here and I refresh the page, as you can see, the button looks different. So now if we press this icon again and hover over it, and we see this is the style sheet that we just wrote here, right? And the previous one is this one. So as we can see, all the previous one is ready, you know, they ignore this and it use our own style sheet. So this is what we call overriding CSS. So this is one of the way to override the styles in Bootstrap. And then the second one is defining separate class. Alright, so we can use CSS for that. For example, uh, if I want to create my own button, for example, I have company, right? And my company name's called maybe uvideo, right? So my company name called a uvideo. So maybe I have my own button here, uvideo dash button, and I want this button to have a color. The button have a color of maybe yellow. All right, let's put it there. Background color would be maybe this teal color or green, and lastly when border color will be this one. So let me change it to that. All right, and now if I create a new button here beside this button, I will call it, well, basically, hold on, class. Let me call this u video button. So when let's create a button secondary in this case. So we have primary button which we have already override, and I'm creating and I'm adding the secondary class now. So when I refresh this, you see this u video button, but because I have defined my own class here, I can just copy this class and add it here as the third class. So this class which we have defined here will override the button secondary default style sheet. Okay, so when I save this and I refresh this, you see now the color looks the button looks different. So by default it looks white, but now it looks teal color with a yellow color text, right? And if we inspect the element, right, now we can see that all of these button secondary attributes, properties and values, right, CSS properties and values have been overridden, and it's using our one, which is uvideo button, right? The same as the first one, but the first one we don't write our own class, we just override uh, the default class. So if you guys ask me which one would I recommend, right? Is it to use this default? Is it better to override the default class or create your own class? So I will recommend that you create your own class. Okay, why is that? Because one day Bootstrap might change this class and all of your code will broke. So for example, maybe one day Bootstrap will change this button dash primary to button button dash primary, right? Then all of your codes inside on your website will broke. So if you create your own class and you specify the properties that you want, then I can assure you that your website won't, hopefully, I cannot really guarantee, so it's just hopefully that your website won't break, right? So this is how we style CSS. Basically it's just like a little bit introduction on styling. So we have discussed on how we override the style sheet of classes, and the other one is define separate classes, which is like I have shown you here. And on the next part, which I'm going, this thing is kind of advanced. We are going to use the mix scenes by using SCSS instead of CSS. So that's all, guys. If you guys understand, hopefully, I hope that you guys understand. And if you like this video, please give me a likes and subscribe to my channel, comment and share it to your friend. If you don't like it, please check my other video, you might like it. Alright, thank you and see you guys next time.